Last year when I was sworn in, obviously that rate was 50 basis points, and now it's quite higher, and that always helps our fixed income portfolio because we have $35 to $40 billion sitting in fixed income. So we're very positive about that on the fixed income side.
We're going to talk about all the things you want to. We'll talk about health care, but you have to run and be elected in North Carolina.
The state treasurer of North Carolina is an elected position.
You're a Republican, and you've never led a poll in North Carolina.
Correct.
You've always been down by how many points?
Who knows? All I know is...
Are you an imposter here? Did you get elected? Somehow you've gotten elected even though you're always down in the polls.
I just know when Andrew calls you Joseph, I don't get involved in that conversation.
Smart man.
You know we're headed. Yeah, it's very true.
That's a cardinal rule for me.
I don't do that. I never call you Andy or Sorkin or anything.
You have called him Andy before.
I would never call that.
Anyway, you got to show that. So you're trying to figure out, how long have you been trying to get information about health care in North Carolina?
Well, health care is obviously one of the biggest expenses of the state of North Carolina, and everybody who is in government, they often get accused of doing things for business. I need to remind your viewers that the biggest employer in North Carolina is the state. The second biggest employer are the cities. The third biggest employers are the counties and then the school systems.
Oh
so when you do something, try to reform a system, not just run it, but actually find it and fix it. Anytime that you do that, you're not just benefiting the state or the cities or the counties, everybody benefits from that. So we're in a posture in the state treasurer's office in North Carolina of not just running the place, but actually finding and fixing. And healthcare expense, we're going to spend over $3.4 billion on healthcare and pharmaceutical benefits just in North Carolina, just for active and retired state employees. Not Medicare, not Medicaid, just for state employees.
What?
So 7 years ago, the state auditor came out with a report and said the plan is at risk for overpaying claims. Never a good word when you're talking to the state treasurer, overpaying anything. Right. For claims, because even though it pays out that amount of money every year, the treasurer or the auditor do not have access to the vendor contracts and cannot verify that the state is receiving the proper contractual discount. Excuse me. So I sent a FOIA request to the state hospital, otherwise known as UNC Healthcare, and this is the report that I got back.
You finally got it.
Of what healthcare costs.
Can you come on?
All the redactions. That's what we.
There's not a single.
This is what healthcare costs is supposed to. I pay this organization $300 million per year.
That's what they sent back to you.
Yes, this is the actual response. So
because it's redacted. Why is it redacted?
Why is it redacted?
Because they say it's proprietary for me to know what I'm supposed to pay. I know what they're charging me, and you have a cup of coffee here, Becky, and when that cup of coffee was purchased, there was a customer and a payer, and they were right beside each other. Mm-hmm. Well, in healthcare, the customer's over here, the payer is over here. The customer doesn't know what the payer's paying.
And this has been the problem for healthcare writ large.
Yes.
We've had a lot of conversations about transparency, and the customer, whether it be a state, whether it be an actual person like myself, being able to know what you're going to be paying not only after the fact, but even before the fact, so that you can price shop. That's
right. And then the payer doesn't know what happened to the customer in that health provider experience. And the editor of the Wilson Times said, and I paraphrase, let's get this straight. The state treasurer cannot find out from the state hospital what the state health plan is supposed to pay for state employees' health care.
Right.
If that bizarre sentence doesn't give you a headache, we hope that it will go away before you're in need of medical attention, because Lord knows where a neurologist will charge you to diagnose that. We're pro-health care. We like our providers. But the fact is that we are a governmental payer in North Carolina, and we've been paying commercial rates for decades.
We don't have a lot of time left, but just to switch plans, it's been volatile, the stock market lately. Have you noticed that? Does that change anything that you do in managing the $100 billion?
We've always had one of the most conservative, and that's why we have one of the best funded pension plans in the United States. But the fact is, this volatility is a major issue. We're in the check delivering business. We're not like an endowment where we can turn the spigot on and off depending on how the stock market does. The stock market doesn't care what my needs are. They're going to give the return that they give. But at the end of the day, we have a serious issue, because in the check delivering business, we're paying out gross over $6 billion a year in pension benefits. I'm spending $740 million every 30 days just for health care, pension and
Which means what? I mean, if
costs.
there's volatility in the stock market, it means you have to hide more in the bond market, or were you already hiding there?
Well, we always have one of the most conservative asset allocations in the country, so we've always done that. But at the end of the day, we've had about a $4 billion drawdown during this latest downturn in the market.